do it live.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the lounge. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Ralph. How's it going today?
It's going fine. It's
Yeah.
going fine. Yeah.
It's kind of a long week, rough week.
Been a rough week
Yeah.
politically
Well, yes, but
and worldwide.
yeah, but
What else?
losing Robert Redford.
Okay,
was
that's
a
why we're
huge-
here. We're going to talk
That's
about
why
Robert
we're here.
Redford. Yes.
But that was really it was a bummer. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to think of it kind of along the ways of like David Bowie. He left
Yeah.
us a huge amount of work to
Yeah.
review and go over and love. So I'm not too sad. 87 years is a long life. He produced.
Was he 87 or 84?
Actually, he might have been 89.
Look at
I'm
us.
sorry. I was thinking my
Full Metal Jacket.
one of those saddest moments
Right.
on this show.
Exactly.
But no, yes, but we're going to talk a little bit about Robert Redford and the passing of an
icon. I mean,
a
come on.
true icon. I mean,
True
people
icon.
like to say that all the time about people.
No,
he was an actual icon.
and he changed independent cinema. He created
He
the
really-
Sundance Film Festival.
in the Sundance Institute.
So, I mean, you can't deny his impact.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question. Anybody under 40, 45, do you think they would know who Robert Redford was? If they're not in the film business as independent filmmakers who send their stuff to Sundance, do you think Gen Zers or Xers would even know who Robert Redford is?
I think they might know Robert Redford as kind of this. If they're into film, they'll know who he is.
Yeah.
But even from the perspective of, like, they know him as that guy that runs the Sundance Film Festival.
Okay.
Like I remember when I was younger. I mean, he was more active when I was younger, obviously. But like a lot of what I knew him from was his Sundance Film Festival stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, they will probably if people bother to read credits anymore, they'll notice how many things he produced. Like,
Yeah.
he was still the producer on Dark Winds, the AMC TV show that adapts some of
Native
Tony
American?
Hillerman's novels about the Navajo Nation, some of the tribal police there, Jim Chee and Joe Leaphorn. And the funny thing is, Redford he produced virtually every time they made those movies. Sometimes they did it with Wes Studi back in the 90s and Adam
Yeah.
Beach. And then,
Well, I mean, nobody reads the credits.
yeah.
I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. And B, I just don't think they know who he is because I think he was in a Marvel film, didn't he? Wasn't he?
Oh
in?
yeah, he was actually in
one of them?
He was in
I
a
don't
couple
watch
of
them, so
them.
I
He
don't
was he played I think he played the president or somebody.
Okay. So
he was in Captain America.
So maybe
2.
they saw him in that.
Yeah, they've
and
seen
would
him in
know
a
who he
couple
is,
of
blah,
them. Yeah, maybe they'll
I
understand.
love
it.
when my kids see someone in a movie go, I know that guy. I've seen him in blah, 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 right? They don't know the name,
Yeah,
but they know that
exactly.
guy.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, I hate to admit this, we're going to steal from our friends over at Red Letter Media.
Those are good guys.
They're
They'll let
great
us do it.
guys.
They'll let us do
they
it.
might let us steal. I don't know. Maybe they won't. They might
Yeah, they
cease and
might
desist
say-
us. We
yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
So we're going to do, normally we do the 5, which is what we do. We pick 5, whatever the subject is we pick. Now what we're doing this time is we're going to do what they did. I came with my list of my top 5 Redford.
Okay.
You came with your list of your top 5 Redford.
Yep.
And we're going to start at the bottom, number 5.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to work our way up to what each one of us thought was the number 1 film for us, for me
Sure.
personally.
Personally,
I'm not
yeah.
saying, I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many
he's
movies
done
that I know
so
are going to
m-
be not on our list. I mean, he did a Twilight Zone. He's been on television. He's done a lot. Westerns.
I remember, speaking of that Twilight Zone real quick, the girl
played
I was
Death.
Yeah, where he plays Death. I remember I was dating this girl at the time, and she, for whatever reason, that episode was on, or we were watching that episode, and she was like, it wouldn't be so bad to go that way if Robert Redford is the guy coming to take you away.
Didn't Brad Pitt play Death in Mr. Black or something?
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
I've actually never seen that,
Me
but
neither.
yeah.
All right, so let's start at what's your number 5?
My number 5 is All Is Lost, which is a much later.
That's the boat one?
That's the boat one. It's a much later.
Yeah, that's like, what, 5 years ago? When did that come out?
Like 15,
Did we know this?
actually.
Do we
Yeah,
know
it's
when
like
these came
15 years ago. But he was elderly, or he was older. He was in
Yeah.
his 70s when he made movies, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically a story. It's essentially a silent film, right? There's almost no dialogue
Because he's
in
in
the
a boat
movie.
all by himself.
He's in a. He's
Based on a true story, right?
I don't know.
2013.
Yeah, 2013. So 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Okay.
And so he's basically, I'm assuming, circumnavigating the globe or making a very long solo trek. He wakes up one morning to find all this water in his boat, where his boat has literally run into a container, like a cargo container, fell off a container ship and has put a hole in his boat. And things just go badly from there, right? And he never.
Was he asleep when the boat hit the thing?
Yeah, he was asleep, and he wakes up, and he's like, "Oh my God, it was just floating in the ocean."
I have seen this film.
And I saw it. I
don't
actually
remember
only
it.
saw it this week after he passed because I had read many great things about it when it came out. I'd heard nothing but good stuff about it, and it's just a fantastic performance.
It's all him. It's
just him.
Yeah.
Literally nobody else. A physical
What made it
performance.
so? What made his performance in this one do it for you?
Just the kind of. So on the outside, he has this unbelievable calm about him, right? And on the one hand, you might even say it's not. Oh, he's just reacting and he's doing the right things all the time. But
You mean as an actor or as the person he's portraying in the movie?
as an actor, you're like, how hard would that really be? But like, you can kind of feel underneath like his terror and his pain
Despair,
and his despair as it grows in him, and especially, there's a couple of sequences in there where you're just like, oh, come on, man, give this guy a break. And plus, you get to the very end, and you're not even really sure about the ending. Like, the ending seems to be, I don't want to spoil it. It is 12 years old, but the ending definitely seems to have an uplift to it. But then there's a part of you that goes, maybe, or maybe not.
It's all a dream.
Well, not that it's all a dream,
That's
but
my favorite.
that
He's
might.
already dead,
Oh God, I hate that. But like at the end, the idea that what's going on, you're like, that seems to strain credulity a little bit, but at the same time, it's great. It's a great film. I was really impressed and enjoyed it. And the funny thing is it caused me to look at a lot of the stuff he's done lately, like The Old Man and the Gun, which I really want to see. I have yet to see that, but I think All Is Lost is terrific, and I think you should check it out as kind of a late stage Redford movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing it when it came out. I don't remember much about it, so I didn't really. It's not on my list anywhere. But,
Okay.
There you go. All Is Lost. My number 5, 1980s Brubaker.
I've never seen Brubaker.
You've never seen Brubaker.
I know the story, I know the concept, but I've never actually seen it.
All right,
Heard
so
it's
the
great.
story is he plays a warden of a prison in Texas or Mississippi, somewhere down south, where the prison's kind of a mess. The prisoners are treated horribly. There's a hierarchy of prisoners where people are on the take, and everybody's on the take. They're using prisoners for labor to produce. I mean, it's a very cynical film about corporations using prisoners to make money for them. So he plays a warden who, at the start of the film, you don't know he's a warden. He's a prisoner.
Right, yeah.
In the film, he spends a couple days undercover, and it turns out he's a warden, and what he discovers through the process, and he makes some relationships with some of the prisoners. He's got a relationship with Jane Alexander as one of the overseers of the prison system, I guess.
Yeah.
So she's on his side, but they're fighting against just some evil shit going on, and corporations trying to take advantage of these prisoners. And it turns out there's a mystery about people being murdered and tortured, and and they find some stuff, and it's a pretty powerful film, and he's great. 1980. It's very.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things though. When you look at when you sit down and you look at his IMDb, you're like, dude, this guy has done a ton of stuff. Yeah.
And he always, I'm not going to say he always. I mean, I haven't seen some of his 60s, What did he do with Barbara? Did he do Barbara Streisand?
Barefoot in the Park?
Was that him?
There was two. He did one with
The Way We
Jane
Were.
Fonda.
That's him too,
and,
right?
Yeah, and The Way We Were is Barbara Streisand, and I think Barefoot in the Park is Jane Fonda.
Yeah, so he was a romantic lead for a long time.
Long time.
And then he got woke, if you want to call it woke, and he was, it started in 1972, probably earlier with All the President's Men, which we may or may not talk about. But Brubaker was one of those feel-goody, like this is the guy trying to fight the system thing.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was fantastic. Yeah, Yaphet Kotto's in there. He plays one of the prisoners.
I love Yaphet Kotto, man.
There's a lot of the guys from those 70s, 80s. You'd recognize all the guys
character
playing
actors.
nasty guys. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
that was my number 5. Okay,
Nice.
what's your number 4?
My number 4 is a much lighter film than that. Is Sneakers.
Sneakers.
I love Sneakers.
I do too. I just watched it the day before he passed away.
No way.
I don't know why. I just said I want to watch Sneakers because
do you have it on Blu-ray?
I have it on Laserdisc. I don't know if I have it on
because I was going to say,
and it's not on my list, by the way. That is not on my list.
Okay,
so that's your number 4.
Yeah, I saw Sneakers in the theater when it came out in the earlier 90s, like 92, 93.
Go keep talking.
Anyway, fantastic cast. Dan Aykroyd, Sidney Poitier, River Phoenix is in it. David Strathairn or what? Yeah,
1992.
What is it? Not Mary McDonald.
Mary McDonald.
Is it
yeah,
Mary
she's
McDonald?
everybody's favorite. Back in those days.
Oh yeah, she's
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, Dances with Wolves. Yeah.
This one, Sneakers. What else was she? Oh, she's in Blue Chips with Nick Nolte. She's
it's
always
got Ben Kingsley in it
Ben
too.
Kingsley plays the partner of.
And
Tell the plot. What's the plot?
So basically, the plot is.
Shocker, he plays an idealistic hippie.
An idealistic hippie,
computer hacker.
Exactly. So essentially, Redford is a guy on the run. He has ditched his real identity because of some stuff he did back in the 60s.
He and Ben Kingsley, the characters.
Right, yeah, the characters.
Played a prank.
Yeah, and
I forget what the prank was. I think they were calling around, whatever they were doing.
They were basically moving money around, I think.
Something
crazy.
So they were donating to like the DNC from the Republican Party. Anyway, so he goes out to get pizza.
And Ben Kingsley gets caught while he is out. So
getting pizza. He's literally getting pizza.
So he splits. He
goes to Canada.
Comes up with a new identity, something Bishop, I forget his name. Anyway, so he comes up with a whole new identity, and he's running this group of like misfits and stuff.
Ex-CIA guy who gets thrown out for whatever. Dan Aykroyd is a conspiracy nut.
Exactly.
Like he is in real life, I believe.
Yeah.
River Phoenix was a hacker
Yes,
guy,
just
and
kind of a
Strathairn
young
was
dude,
a blind
dude who
computer
knew all
hacker
this
guy.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so the idea is what they do is they go around and test security systems for companies, banks, what have you, right? And then, but normally what happens is I think James Earl Jones shows up
late.
As a member of the CIA, and basically,
that's late. No, but they end up they do this whole thing at the beginning where they break into a bank,
right?
And you realize that they're experts at this.
Yeah.
Then the government, shady these shady guys. One of them is
they want him to steal this thing, right?
Yes, this MacGuffin is this thing.
It's the
security thing that'll break every code there is.
Yes, it'll break all the secrets.
No secrets.
No more secrets.
No more
right?
secrets.
Yeah. And it's just really well played, and it's kind of a heist movie. It's also kind of like a political thing, because what they figure out is, and this doesn't really make a lot of sense in today's modern security, but like basically what he figures out is that this particular code breaking software, this MacGuffin basically, would only be good against Americans.
Right.
It would not. The Soviets use, and actually the Russians, because the Soviet Union had fallen, and that's written into the story. The Russians use a completely different model, and they're like, this would only be good at spying on our own people. So definitely kind of a little bit more of a left bend to it and everything like that. Definitely.
Very prescient though.
Yes,
I mean,
in a lot of ways.
A lot of the stuff that he and Ben Kingsley are talking about.
Yeah, it is. Well, you see, it's funny. I haven't seen this since like the 90s, because for whatever reason, like it's never streaming anywhere. I've looked for it multiple times. It's never streaming anywhere.
Well, I found it streaming.
Well, I mean, you have to pay for it. Like,
okay, you want it free.
Well, not free, as part of one of my many paid-for subscriptions.
Understood.
You pay for 4 or 5 subscriptions.
Yeah.
You're like,
you're
like, I want it for free,
right.
damn it, or I want to just watch it without having to pay another $5.
Corporations.
Exactly.
Telling you.
And but anyway, it's a fun caper movie. It's pretty lighthearted, like a lot of his stuff. It's got a nice little kind of, what I think is a nice little message in there about secrets and the people who are supposed to be keeping us safe and watching it.
Yeah, and they really play off each other well. The cast was fantastic. The timing, the comic timing. Sidney Poitier's in there.
They're all top.
Robert Redford. It's just Timothy Busfield plays one of the.
Everybody in there is.
Yeah.
They're all top notch.
I just watched this the other day,
Really?
and he passed away the next day.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I just had the urge to see it.
I watched one of mine about 3 weeks ago, which is one of the reasons it's on my list. But anyway.
Interesting. That's your number 4.
That's my number 4. What about you?
My number 4 is The Sting.
Oh, yeah. I love The Sting.
That's not on your list, I can tell.
It is not on my list.
That's crazy.
I love The Sting.
The Sting is great. It's a collaboration with Paul Newman.
Mm-hmm. George Roy Hill.
I don't know if this was before Sundance.
I think it was after.
It was after Butch.
It was after Butch and Sundance. Yeah.
I remember seeing this as a young boy. I think this came out in '74, maybe. Here, we can look at it real quick. I think I walked into this movie because another movie had been sold out, and
really?
I go, well, if I have to go, I'll go see The Sting, not knowing. Now I must have seen them in Butch Cassidy. I did.
It's got our man Robert Shaw in it, though.
Robert Shaw's in this one, yeah. So it's about a sting. These guys, Paul Newman and him, play grifters who do this thing, this
Very
scam,
complex
scheme against Robert Shaw, who plays a guy who's just trying to make money. There's some
he's
great,
a gangster. Yeah,
he's a gangster. Now Paul Newman really has the big lift in this movie. He plays Gondorf, I forget his name, Harry Gondorf maybe, and he has all the great scenes with Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
Again, Robert Redford's kind of the good-looking one in this, and he's the young protege of Paul Newman's character.
Yep.
And there's an interesting twist that happens that you you think it's going one way and it goes absolutely the other way, and we're fooled along with Robert Shaw, which is an amazing thing to pull off.
It is,
and the fun thing is when you watch it now, knowing what's going to happen, you see all the little things that are going on.
It's so obvious.
It's just such a great. It's a great, well-done film by George Roy Hill.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought Robert Redford was fantastic. Paul Newman, of course, is just
he's
top-notch.
Ice cold, man. That guy's great.
So, I just remember seeing this I was probably 12 years old at the time.
Yeah, I saw it on video. I remember my dad rented it from, like, our local video store. And he was like, we got to watch this movie. And I remember sitting down with it and having the rug pulled out from under me at the end when it's like, they're like, oh, those guys were in on it too.
Everybody.
Like, what a great way to just, like, cover it. And, like, nobody's going to dig any further, you know?
No, we were fooled right along with
that's
Robert
what's so
Shaw.
great. I know.
We didn't
We were
know.
we were the mark.
That whole FBI
you know?
side of it was just great. And then, of course, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Marvin Hamlish, I think. Is that him? No. That's bad, not knowing that?
I don't know.
I don't know who did
know who did the
music score
for the Sting.
But that I don't think he did the score, but that song became hugely
that movie
popular.
won like Best Director, Best Picture.
Yeah,
it was
just great.
massive.
So the Sting, that was my number 4.
That's your number 4.
Number
okay.
4, yeah,
right.
because
there's so many good movies.
I know.
Here.
I mean, it's
crazy.
like I said, we're not even scratching the surface,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know there's tons we missed. What's your number 3?
3 Days of the Condor.
Interesting.
3
You put
Days
that
of the
into
Condor.
That's my number 2.
That's your number 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So 3 Days.
One of my favorite films ever made.
3 Days of the Condor is so freaking good.
Yeah,
I rewatched it like 3 weeks ago.
That's on our original Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother podcast.
Oh,
We did that
nice.
film.
It is such a great film.
Yeah.
It is so. It's just. I love a good espionage movie anyway, but the way he plays in that film, the way he acts, and the way he carries it, it's just so believable and so. You're on his side every minute of it.
It opens up. He's a CIA book analyst.
Yeah, basically he reads.
They read books to see if there's any plots.
And things that would cause, you know, and he's on the case of this book where he's like, this is a book that didn't sell that well, yet it's been translated into all these different languages. It doesn't make any sense. And I love all the old school computer stuff that's going on, where like they're like photographing it, but literally they have a machine that turns the pages of the book. It's so great. And there's all this great stuff and the characters in the movie and everything. And then there's just this.
Well, and what happens?
Well,
he goes out to get lunch for everybody. Again, he leaves to get lunch.
He leaves through the back door.
And the whole office gets assassinated.
Yeah, while he is out, right? He just happens to be out.
He comes back and he sees this.
And it's funny,
and he goes
too.
on the run.
Now that I mentioned Sneakers already, I did read, like, when Sneakers came out, I saw something about how, like, in a way, Sneakers is kind of almost like a lighthearted spiritual sequel
to 3 Days of the Condor.
3 Days of the Condor, because, you know, 3 Days of the Condor ends with him not being kind of in the sights anymore, but still in a very precarious position, right? And he's said all this stuff, and it's a great 70s film too, because it's
all paranoia.
It has this really down ending, like the down ending. Because there's that great scene where Cliff Robertson, right? Yeah. He goes, well, what if they don't print it?
Right.
What if they just say,
standing at the New York Times.
Yeah, and he's given all this information over. I will say this, in rewatching 3 Days of the Condor, the whole thing with Faye Dunaway.
It's in hindsight.
It's really, really
really cringy.
It's very
but
cringy.
I don't care.
But it's still a great film.
She's fantastic.
She's great in it.
She's at her height, her peak of gorgeous and being a superstar.
Yeah.
We put those two together. They have to have sex. It just so happens that he had to tie her up and whatever.
Yeah. Well, he didn't tie her up for the sex, but but the fact of the matter is he's got a gun and he's kidnapped her and he's got a gun. Yeah, but so you wouldn't call that.
He's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Consensual.
For me, the movie really, was the relationship between him and Max von Sydow, who plays plays the very calculating, very calm assassin.
Professional assassin. Because and that's another thing. It's like he doesn't get his comeuppance in the end.
Who?
Sydow.
No.
No, he just goes off.
He's grudging respect for,
yeah,
and he has grudging respect.
He helps him out.
Yeah.
And at one point, he's actually like, you have a natural talent for these kinds of things. Basically, like if you survive, you almost get the vibe. He's almost like, if you survive all this, look me up and maybe we can work together or something
there was a little bit of that,
far,
but Robert Redford expected to get killed by him, and he didn't.
And he didn't. Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to throughout, but for some reason,
well, they got to a point where like he had damage done. It was over with. It was like,
but he was not. It was business. All business.
It was all business with him. He was not.
And
at
the
all.
guy who hired him, he killed, so now the contract is closed.
Yep.
Max von Sydow killed, who's now the contract that Robert Redford. He goes, no, that guy's gone, so that contract is closed. We're good. And then, of course, the famous mailman scene in the apartment.
Oh my God, the mailman sequence in the opening is like, it is both. It's so, and I've never actually seen anybody get shot with like an Uzi, but like, it's so weirdly realistic and terrifying.
I mean, yeah.
You know, like, and just it's so cold and calculating. Like even the guy who gets shot and then his toupee gets torn off.
Toupee. How about the Asian woman who just close?
Yeah.
Well, Max kills her.
Yeah, he's like,
no,
don't.
Max doesn't kill her.
No, the other guy does. But he's like, don't scream. He's like, just please move away from the window.
Right.
So she doesn't accidentally go through the window or bullets break the window. I
was also talking about the mailman scene in the apartment when he has the fight with the mailman. And the mailman's hissing and coming at him and stuff. It's a great scene.
That's a great scene. Okay, that mailman scene, yeah.
So that was what? That was your number 3?
That was my number 3.
Your number 3 was 3 Days of the Condor. Okay.
3 Days of the Condor, yeah.
See,
Such a good
My
flick.
brain is, well, I want this thing turned on. Okay. I should remember. My number 3, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
See, that's my number 2.
Okay, so we flip-flopped them.
Yeah, we flip-flopped those two.
So, I mean, what can be said about this film that hasn't been said?
It's pretty damn close to perfect.
This is, for me, Robert Redford was so freaking good looking and so cool in this film. And the fact that he was a sharpshooter and his play with Paul Newman, the way they played off each other.
So great.
You felt like that they were friends forever.
Oh yeah,
and everything that they went through, it all felt real and legit, and the naturalistic acting that was going on in this. But it does have the one scene in it that has affected me my whole life, and it started as a young 12-year-old boy getting a boner like I couldn't believe, and that's when he sort of looks like he's assaulting Catherine Ross.
Yes, but you find out.
Well,
later,
ultimately, you find out you don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know.
But he does this thing. He does this thing where she
beginning.
unbuttons her shirt, and you're not seeing anything.
No.
And he puts his hands inside her shirt, and of course, Catherine Ross, stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
And as a little 12-year-old boy, it's just like, well, what? That's weird. What's going on? There's something tingly. And to this day, that's the scene that like started my whole freaking crazy ass sexual life. It's nuts.
I can believe it. And it is very, like, at the beginning when you're watching it, it's a little menacing, and it's
he's very menacing. No, it's not
very
a little
uncomfortable.
And it wasn't that part of it that got me all tingly.
Yeah.
It was putting the hands inside the shirt.
And then later,
just amazing.
what took you so damn long, or what took you so long? It's so great.
It's
and
great.
She is fantastic in it. Everybody in this movie is great. Even the guys, like all the hole in the wall gang. Even those guys, like the guy who plays Logan, the giant dude.
Yeah.
He's like, you want
fair fight.
Yeah, he's like, you want him to do your thinking for you, you know? And then later he's like, yeah, he figures if we hit it one way, that when they'd load it up on the way back, because Harvey thought of that? Well, that's what we're going to do, you know? And he's like, wait a minute, we got to get the rules.
But see, that's Paul Newman doing all that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Robert Redford barely spoke when he didn't have to.
But
he only spoke to Paul Newman, really.
But he's so great in that film.
It's
just
fantastic.
So amazing.
The mustache, the look, the whole thing.
Everything. And the funny thing is when I saw
George Roy Hill again.
Yeah. And William Goldman again.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the crazy things is when I saw that film, I had read about, like, I have this great book about the Old West, right? And it talks about all the outlaws. And I had read essentially what people really thought happened to those guys down there is that, you know, that Butch kills, you know, they commit suicide basically. Yeah. And so when that ending hit, like when he's like, he just says to him, he's like, did you see LaFour's out there? And he's like, no. And he's like, oh, good. I thought we were in trouble for a minute. And they burst out. It is just,
it's a heartbreaking
is just so wonderful.
You wanted them to get away so bad.
And it cuts to the sepia tone, and it's Oh.
The stuff they did in the film, some of the slideshow things that they did, the way they showed their trip to Mexico, wherever they went, South
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
with slides, putting Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head in the middle of this movie.
Burt Bacharach, yeah.
No, what's his name?
Burt Bacharach.
No.
He's
I
the
don't
guy
know.
that did Raindrops Keep Falling on My
Who
Head.
sang it? Who's the singer?
Oh,
I got it in my head. Here you go.
I don't know, but
Full Metal Jacket. That's going to be our fill-in. Who is it? He did Hooked on a Feeling, too. Oh, my God.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
I know Burt Bacharach wrote that song.
Okay, but that's not who sang the song.
I don't know who sang it.
Oh, this is ridiculous. You know what? We'll just Google
Yeah,
who sang
yeah.
Raindrops.
But
my point is, when he heard that this was going to be in this film, he's like, "What the hell is my song doing in a Western?"
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out to be this massive hit.
Yep.
The scene of them
on the bicycle.
on the bicycle to this
Yeah.
song. Yeah. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. B.J. Thomas. Okay.
Okay.
God, I get that out of my system. It became a massive hit, and he's like, "Oh, okay. I guess that was a good idea."
Yeah, not so bad now,
Yeah.
right? But it's funny too because that movie, it's just kind of the way that sometimes, even the way he is kind of the straight man. He's the straight man, like you said.
Completely straight man.
Newman is the one talking up a storm, and he's much more taciturn and laconic, and but he is the straight man in that film. But he's so great at it,
Yeah.
And still just love that point.
A little too much dynamite there, Butch.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You keep thinking, Butch, that's what you're best at. That part where he's like,
There's-
he kicks Harvey in the nuts and he's like, somebody say 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. And I feel like we're just like reliving it.
No, I
Like,
know.
it's
But
so good.
that's what I mean. But that Buddy, that's the classic Buddy film. that
Mm-hmm.
Every other Buddy film wants to be like.
Yeah.
Is the relationship they had. They carried that on into The Sting, and
Yeah.
people try it, they just can't do what those two did. And
Sure.
you add the George Roy Hill directing to it, which
It's-
just coalesced the whole thing
Oh,
to
yeah.
just be.
It's-
And again, ask a Gen Zer or Gen X or even what the hell Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I don't know if they would.
I feel like a lot of Gen X people have seen Butch and Sundance.
Maybe.
I mean, like, I feel like I saw it. I have friends that have seen it,
Yeah, but
maybe
you're
some.
at 50, right?
Yeah.
You're still, yeah.
I'm
So
s-
you're still. That was number. What did I say? That was my number 3. It's your number 2.
And that's my number 2.
All right.
yeah.
Well, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is a little bit of an outsider
Oh.
call here. And I love this movie. I rewatched it when I heard he died because it's one of my favorite films of his. Probably, maybe my absolute favorite of his. The Great Waldo Pepper.
Really?
I love that film.
Never seen it.
It's George Roy Hill.
Yeah.
William Goldman.
Oh wow.
He wrote the screenplay. It's fantastic. It is. It's really well directed, as you would imagine. He is terrific in it. It's basically a story of a guy who is a kind of a barnstormer in the 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
That he had flown in World War I.
Yeah.
As a flyer, and all those guys came back.
1975. Okay.
And they there's this opening sequence where he is just talking. He's just talking. He's having dinner after his day of giving rides out for people. He's like, "I'll take you up for 5 minutes for $5," kind of thing. And he's anyway. Long story short is he's having dinner at this farmhouse and he's telling this story, and it's really amazing too. And the reason I love it for it is he's got tons of them. It's got the heights of emotion and all sorts of stuff, and he's super charming all the way through. There's some downer elements to it. It's kind of a sadder film.
Does it take place in the Depression? When's it taking place?
Well, I think it actually takes place a little before the Depression, right? But maybe as the Depression is coming on, and then a very young Susan Sarandon is in it, and she is
Knockout.
oh yeah, just totally gorgeous. Bo Svensson is in it, and he's terrific. It's just a great film from start to finish. There's some shocking things that happen in it that you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. And there's just some amazing aerial work. Just obviously this is the 70s.
Yeah.
But it's a great film. It's obviously it's Goldman. It's really well written. I think it's one of those movies that you kind of for whatever reason, while Butch Cassidy and the Sting have been well remembered and have been greatly remembered, the the great Waldo Pepper has not been.
Yeah, I don't hear much about it.
It's
I
on
know.
Netflix, actually.
Is it? I've read. I'll have to watch it. I was going to ask you if
It's leaving soon.
Okay, so I'll watch it. I'll have to watch it.
You may need to watch it before the end of September.
I will. I have read about it because people have, like you claimed, that it is one of the unsung, of his unsung performances that needs to be recognized a little bit more.
Yeah.
So.
And one of the funny things is the first time I ever even heard about it, this is going to sound really crazy, but I actually, in some kind of weird circumstance, ended up at the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra when Henry Mancini was... he was directing the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, doing some of his own work, not all of his own work, but a lot of his movie stuff. And he did the music for Waldo Pepper. And he's like, hey, he kind of would say a little something, and he mentioned Waldo Pepper, and there was this old lady, an older lady next to me. She got all excited and started like bopping along to it, and I was like, okay, I probably should see this movie then.
Wow.
And but like that was literally probably in 1992 that happened. I was in college or whatever. Anyway,
came out in 75, so it was right along the same.
It's right in
Butch
that,
Cassidy,
the Sting, and this is one that I think people have really overlooked.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Like I said, it's on Netflix for at least a
till September,
week or so, week and a half more. So
I'm gonna check it out for sure.
It was one of those movies when I sat down and I watched, I was like, how are not more people talking about this movie?
Yeah.
Like when they talk about Redford or George Roy Hill or William Goldman, how are more people not talking about this movie?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's great, though. It's fantastic.
All right, well, my number one is obvious. It's All the President's Men.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
Okay.
I mean, it got Maria into journalism.
Yeah.
A lot of people claim that this movie is what got them into journalism.
I can see it.
And it's all the Watergate. How Woodward and Bernstein took down the Nixon presidency.
Now that's something Gen Zers won't remember. Woodward and Lothrop.
That's
Woodward and Lothrop.
I barely remember that.
I know, me too.
This is the quintessential, what do you call it, journalistic?
Oh yeah.
Dream show.
Yeah.
Like this is what everybody wanted to aspire to before journalism turned into what it is now, which is not journalism.
Yeah.
These were the days where reporters could take down an administration just with straight up reporting.
Yeah, and it's
the way he and Hoffman, Dustin Hoffman,
they're fantastic.
play Woodward and Bernstein is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I guess they came here to D.C. Women were going crazy over these two guys.
Oh, sure.
Can you imagine the filming down here in 72 when these guys, and this was 72 was Watergate had just happened.
Oh, I know.
Right? It just happened, and this movie came out, I think, in 72. Maybe it came out in 74.
Maybe 74, yeah.
Really, right on the heels of
like
that.
It was coming out like right after it happened. It was kind of amazing.
1976, right? So I'm wrong. 76.
Still, that's extremely close.
Well, it's 4 years away, but still people were still.
Oh yeah,
aware
still
of what the hell was going on.
I mean, that was a lot of people will say that. The Watergate scandal was a huge shift in American attitude toward the government. That a lot of people lost faith in that.
Well, that's why all those movies in the 70s, the Parallax View, 3 Days of the Condor, Winter Kills, all these paranoid 70s films about how the government is, secretly or not so secretly moving pieces that you don't see, and All the President's Men kind of shined a light on that. That's literally happening in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was Redford who got this film to the screen. He bought the book.
Sure.
I think he bought the rights to the book,
Okay.
All the President's Men, and he's the one that pushed to get this thing made.
Well,
and again, Jason Robards as the guy who ran the Post. I forget his name.
The editor.
Yeah, the editor. Some of the ladies, the women that were in there were just fantastic actresses and actors and
Yeah, it's such a good movie, and I mean, I don't remember if it won Best Picture or not, but I don't really
Should I know
remember.
that? Is that something we should bring to the
No,
table?
I don't think so. I mean,
Jack Warden, Martin Balsam, Hal Holbrook, Jason Robards, Jane Alexander, Meredith Baxter Burney now, Ned Beatty, Stephen Collins. We don't want to say his name anymore. Penny Fuller had a great role as one of the woman who got the guy to admit. Remember the guy that was trying to admit? Robert Walden, who was also in my favorite the movie about the trip to Mars there that didn't happen. The
Capricorn 1. Yeah.
He ended up in that show. Lou Grant. He played the
Oh,
reporter.
okay.
Lou Grant. Yes. F. Murray Abrams played a cop that caught the guy in the water. There's just so many people in this film that, and even Uncle Junior from The Sopranos has got a big part in this. So.
Well, it's funny. I forgot Martin Balsam. I love Martin Balsam. He is a guy that like he is one of those actors that like is so he's a total character actor, unbelievably versatile. You know, he was in a ton of westerns. He was in Breakfast at Tiffany's. He's in
Psycho.
Yeah, that's right. He's the detective in Psycho. Right. I mean, anyway, sorry.
But this is for me quintessential Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Obviously Dustin Hoffman.
I'm sorry, go on.
No, good.
No, I was going to say, and it is one of those things where he was a guy who I think, not all the time, but for a lot of his movies, he chose films that he felt had something to say.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to say
I mean, he was woke before woke was woke.
Well, I'm going to say
before
that
woke had flipped on its head. But
well,
yes, he was doing. He's done, and he's done more films like that, like Lions for Heart. There's all these movies
or whatever.
Yes, he's all these movies he's done, like you said, even produced. That have a message. That have
and I think, and a lot of times he's also done films that like even as a director, one of my favorite movies as him as a director, he is not in the film at all, is a little movie called The Milagro Beanfield War.
I absolutely love. I'm glad you brought that up.
That movie.
Love that film.
That movie is fantastic.
Yes, and he directed that one.
He directed it. He's not in it.
Ruben Blades, is that his name?
I think so. Yeah. And
I remember that.
The Milagro Beanfield War. I remember at the time. Strangely enough, my dad rented it. He had read the book, and then he gave the book to me to read. I never got through it, but like the point is that was a great film, just a great movie, well made, all the way through. And like he did that. I mean, he was always more of an actor than a director and a producer as well. But like he's a guy that, you know, he really cared about, especially, you know, the environment and, you know, indigenous cultures and what had been done to them and their rights and their voices. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like I said, he is the producer and executive producer on so many movies that focus on Native Americans, whether it's Incident at Ogallala or something like that. I think he was like Smoke Signals. I think he did that movie, you know, or as a producer in some way. Just it's like, hey, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to help you get this movie made. You know what I mean? And so like he had a lot of, you know, and he was a great guy, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually saw something recently that was like, it basically said to the effect of like, you can pick anything he said and no, you know, nobody's going to disagree with it. Right. Like in the sense that like he was thoughtful, you know, he was never, I don't know. He was just a great guy.
I've never seen anything written negatively. I'm sure there must be.
I mean, I'm sure there's some people that don't like what he said or like what he stood for or say this, but he was not a guy that you would look at and say, oh, he's some kind of partisan hack or anything like that. Everything he said was well thought out. It was well reasoned.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was
we
great.
haven't even talked about The Candidate. Remember that one?
Oh, God, yeah, The Candidate.
I mean, he like all his films really have become very prescient and very like even Downhill Racer.
I've never seen Downhill Racer.
Anyway, we can't do that, but he's got a ton.
He's got so many.
So I mean, it's Robert Redford. Let's toast Robert Redford.
Hell yeah.
I mean, what are you going to say? Rest in peace.
Exactly. And you know what? If you haven't seen many of these films, check them out. They're all literally every movie on this list is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think totally we had 8 total.
Eight, yes.
8 total. We had a couple of overlaps.
We meshed a couple together. You know, we didn't talk about Jeremiah Johnson. His
So
collaboration with Sidney Pollack. I mean, he's done a ton of movies out of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 Days of the Condor was Sidney Pollack.
That's Sidney Pollack, yeah.
So there's a lot of them out there. We missed a ton.
Oh, sure.
But these are the ones that specifically for me, Butch and Sundance really set up my whole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's such a good movie. I mean, it's just so good. You know. But yeah.
All right, so you need to go see Caught Stealing.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that one.
I will try to catch that.
And then we're going to try to catch the new DiCaprio Paul Thomas Anderson.
One Battle After Another.
One Battle After Another.
That's getting nothing but rave reviews.
We got to see that and talk about it.
That looks great, yeah.
And I thought we'd do Alien Earth, but there's so many good Alien Earth review things out there.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That people are, either loving it or ripping it to shreds, and I don't think I can add any more.
Well,
but,
it's so funny.
I mean, I'm liking it.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it because I love everything Alien. Except
me too,
for
yeah.
I don't like the Alien Predator shit, but I like all the other stuff.
That's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
And I'm enjoying what they're doing. It's a little wacky. It's a little wacky,
different.
and I can't quite figure out the timeline.
Oh, I know the timeline, and I don't like the timeline.
Yeah, it's a little...
part of my issue with the show is the timeline, is the fact that it's... Plus, no, I don't want to get into Alien Earth on a Robert Redford talk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's disrespectful. I'm being very disrespectful.
We'll talk...
Let me ask you this. Do you ever see The Post? Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. It is the origin story of Woodward and Bernstein. It's like it happens before.
Oh yeah. The one about the Pentagon Papers.
That's right.
Yes, yeah, I saw.
Or have you seen Dick?
I was going to actually talk about Dick because I love the ending of Dick where she's like, "They'll never lie to us again." That's
right. No, I just think
got one of the biggest laugh lines
the way they
in the theater.
portrayed Woodward and Bernstein.
Oh yeah, that's great.
as preening.
Oh yeah, with Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I don't know that
other guy from
the Canadian show there. I think
Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, the guy from Kids in the Hall. Yeah,
they were
fantastic. Yeah. And it's like that's such a good bit. Like Dick is a funny
it really
movie.
Is good.
It really is great.
Yeah.
And that's
we're only talking about it because it's about Woodward and Bernstein.
Yeah, it kind of dovetails in. But I just love that was that got the biggest laugh when I went to see that in the theater. Was at the end. She's like, "And now they'll never lie to us again." And they were basic. I love it because the Woodward Bernstein guys are like, "Yeah, we can't. We're not going to tell anybody who you are." She's like, "Why not? We'd be too embarrassed." And I love the bit about like. I don't want to, but just the reason why there's 18 missing minutes on the tape.
I forget what the bit was.
The one girl has fallen in love with Tricky Dick, and she's like singing a love song to him, and he hears it, and he's like, "Oh, she's
gotta get rid of that."
He's like, "They'll crucify me."
That's not where he gets high, right? He takes the brownies.
Yes,
Richard
yes,
Nixon it's a lot. That's a great film. Film. Anyway, but it has nothing to do with Robert Redford except Woodward and Bernstein. So. All right, well, that's it for this show. Maybe we'll do a couple. Try to do some what we just talked about. Do some more.
Do a few more.
I think we're done doing older films because nobody cares except you and me.
I don't know. I mean, I was looking back and like a couple of the older. The Warriors got like 130 views. Yeah,
that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll watch Waldo Pepper. Maybe we'll talk about that again.
I'd love to talk about Waldo Pepper.
Maybe we'll do that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you go.
Sounds great.
All right. We'll see you on the next one.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, man.